You've saved for months, maybe years. The resort looked perfect online. Pristine beaches, luxury amenities, 5-star reviews. You're finally here, unpacked, relaxed, living your dream vacation. Then security appears at your door with an eviction notice. Your paradise just became a nightmare, and there's almost nothing you can do about it. If you're planning your next vacation, this video can save you thousands of dollars and prevent unnecessary nightmares. Like now, so more people can see this crucial information. Subscribe to the channel for travel tips that really work, and turn on notifications so you never miss content that protects your money. Reason number 1. The noise complaint that never happened. But we weren't even loud. This is impossible. Sarah Mitchell, a kindergarten teacher from Ohio, was celebrating her 10th anniversary at a luxury resort in Cancun. On their third night, around 9 p.m., they were quietly talking on their balcony, sharing a bottle of wine and watching the sunset. No music, no shouting, just conversation. At 10 p.m., security knocked. A noise complaint had been filed. Sarah explained they'd been whispering for the past hour. Didn't matter. Second complaint came at midnight. They'd been asleep since 10:30 p.m. By morning, they received an eviction notice. Resort security operates on a 3 strikes policy that's intentionally vague. Who decides what constitutes excessive noise? Often, it's a single staff member who may never have investigated the complaint. Appeals go to the same department that issued the warning. The authority comes from your signed resort agreement, that document you scrolled through without reading. Lost $4,200 in prepaid resort fees, $800 in flights, and had to find last-minute accommodation in a foreign country. The emotional trauma of being escorted out like criminals in front of other guests created lasting anxiety about travel. Resort's response to their complaint? Policy is policy. Before booking, research the resort's noise policy specifics. Request a room away from high-traffic areas. Most importantly, document everything: times, activities, noise levels. Your phone's voice memo can be your salvation. Reason number 2. The photography violation. That wasn't Mark Chen, a professional wedding photographer from Seattle, brought his camera to document his family reunion at a resort in Jamaica. Mark was photographing his nephew's first steps by the pool when security approached. He was told photography of other guests was prohibited. Mark explained he was only photographing family, showed them the innocent photos, offered to delete any that might include strangers in the background. Too late. The complaint was filed. Second strike came when Mark's wife posted a sunset photo on Instagram that showed a distant couple walking on the beach. Faces unrecognizable, but guests were visible. Resort photography policies exist in legal gray areas, often expanded beyond stated rules by overzealous staff. The authority comes from privacy laws, but enforcement is subjective, and appeals are handled by the same security department that issued the violation. Mark's family, 12 people across 3 rooms, were all evicted due to his repeat violations. Total loss: $18,000 in resort fees, flights, and alternative accommodations. The family reunion they'd planned for 2 years was destroyed. Read photography policies word by word. Many resorts prohibit any photography that could include other guests, even accidentally. When in doubt, ask guest services for written permission. Your vacation memories aren't worth risking eviction. Reason number 3. The dress code trap. The website showed casual beachwear everywhere. Jennifer Walsh, a nurse from Texas, packed for a tropical vacation based on the resort's website imagery: sundresses, shorts, sandals. What the website didn't emphasize was the elegant casual dinner requirement. First night, Jennifer wore a knee-length sundress to dinner. She was turned away. Inappropriate attire. Second night, she wore the most formal outfit she'd packed, a midi dress and flats. Still turned away. Too casual. Third night, she attempted to buy appropriate clothing from the resort's overpriced boutique, but was told her afternoon poolside attire, bikini cover-up in the lobby, was her third violation. Dress codes are enforced by different staff members with varying interpretations. What passes at lunch might fail at dinner. The same outfit approved by one hostess might be rejected by another. There's no standardized guideline, just subjective judgment calls that compound into eviction. Jennifer lost her entire vacation and $5,600 in costs. The humiliation of being dress-coded 3 times in front of other guests created lasting insecurity about travel and social situations. Contact the resort directly before arrival. Ask for specific dress code examples with photos if possible. Pack one outfit more formal than you think necessary. Remember, resort websites sell fantasies, not practical realities. Reason number 4. The pool rule pyramid. Here's where the system reveals its true nature. Rules aren't just technical boundaries. They're subjective weapons wielded by staff who might be having a bad day, dealing with personal issues, or simply dislike something about you. David Kumar, an accountant from Phoenix, was playing water volleyball with his teenage sons at a family-friendly resort. The game got competitive. Voices were raised in celebration, not anger. A lifeguard issued a warning for aggressive behavior. 20 minutes later, David's son splashed water that accidentally hit another guest 3 feet away. Second violation: disturbing other guests. The family moved to the quiet pool. David's younger son, age 12, did a cannonball. Third violation: unsafe pool behavior. Eviction notice arrived 2 hours later. The rules they violated weren't posted anywhere. Pool regulations existed only in staff discretion, changing based on interpretation, mood, and circumstance. David's family lost $8,900 in prepaid vacation costs. His sons blamed themselves for ruining the family trip. The psychological impact lasted months. David's children became anxious about breaking unknown rules in any public space. Pool areas are high-risk zones for violations. Observe quietly for 30 minutes before participating. Ask lifeguards directly about specific activities. Document posted rules with photos. If rules aren't posted, request written clarification from management. Reason number 5. The alcohol accountability trap. It's an all-inclusive resort. Drinking is included. Lisa Rodriguez, a marketing manager from Denver, was celebrating her friend's bachelorette party at a Caribbean resort. The group enjoyed the included alcohol. Responsibly, they thought. No one was falling down, fighting, or bothering other guests. But resort staff noted Lisa laughing loudly at dinner, violation 1. Her friend asking for directions to the bathroom twice, violation 2, and Lisa singing softly by the pool, violation 3. Staff are trained to identify intoxicated behavior using criteria that can include loud laughter, repeated questions, any singing, apparent loss of coordination, or excessive friendliness. Appeals are impossible because staff observations are considered factual. The entire bachelorette group, 8 women, were evicted for Lisa's intoxication violations. Total loss: $31,000 in vacation costs. The bride's celebration was destroyed, creating lasting resentment and damaged friendships. Understand that all-inclusive alcohol comes with behavioral monitoring. Designate one person per group to stay completely sober. Avoid any behavior that could be interpreted as intoxicated, even if you're naturally enthusiastic or social. Reason number 6, the guest complaint chain reaction. This is where apparent vacation success becomes your greatest vulnerability. Robert and Ann Thompson, retirees from Michigan, were having a perfect week at a luxury resort. No violations, no complaints, complete compliance with all stated rules. Another guest complained that the Thompsons were taking up too much space at the pool by placing their belongings on 2 chairs. The Thompsons immediately moved their items and apologized. Problem solved, or so they thought. The complaining guest filed additional reports. The Thompsons were staring, they'd glanced over during the conversation, being passive-aggressive, they'd moved quietly, and creating a hostile environment, they'd avoided the area afterward. Guest versus guest complaints create a paper trail that resorts treat as fact. Once someone targets you, their subsequent complaints carry more weight because there's an established pattern. You can't defend against accusations you never knew existed. The Thompsons were evicted on day 6 of their 7-day vacation. They lost $6,800 and flew home confused and humiliated. The complaining guest later bragged to other guests about getting annoying people removed. If anyone approaches you with a complaint, immediately involve guest services as a neutral mediator. Document the interaction with timestamps and witnesses. Never assume a resolved complaint is actually resolved. Reason number 7, the social media silent killer. Emma Martinez, a travel blogger from California, was documenting her perfect getaway in real time. Emma posted gorgeous resort photos, tagged the location, and praised the experience. Her follower count was modest, 3,000 people, but one post showed her breakfast with the caption, "Worth every penny of the 400 night rate." The resort claimed she was conducting business and commercial photography without permission. Her documentation of resort amenities constituted unauthorized marketing material. 3 strikes accumulated in a single social media session. Compliance isn't protection. The same activities that make you a model guest, documenting, sharing, appreciating, can be reframed as violations when the system decides you're a problem. Emma was evicted and banned from the resort chain's 47 properties worldwide. Her travel blog post about the experience was met with legal threats. Loss: $4,200 plus professional reputation damage. Before posting anything, ask guest services about social media policies. Many resorts prohibit any mention of rates, amenities, or experiences that could be considered commercial content. When in doubt, document privately and post after departure. Reason number 8, the medical emergency penalty. Patricia Williams, a diabetic teacher from Florida, experienced a hypoglycemic episode during her vacation. Patricia's blood sugar dropped during dinner. She became disoriented and asked her server for orange juice urgently. The server, untrained in medical emergencies, interpreted her urgency as intoxication and called security. Security arrived as Patricia was recovering, eating glucose tablets. They noted her erratic behavior, medical distress, incoherent speech, hypoglycemic confusion, and disruptive conduct, medical emergency. 3 violations in 15 minutes. Staff medical training is minimal. They're instructed to treat any unusual behavior as a conduct violation first, medical emergency second. Once violations are filed, medical explanations become irrelevant. The paperwork stands. Patricia was evicted, despite providing medical documentation and emergency contact verification from her doctor. She lost $3,800 and faced humiliation while managing a serious medical condition. Carry visible medical identification. Inform guest services immediately upon arrival about any medical conditions that might appear as behavioral issues. Bring emergency contact information for your physician. Reason number 9, the arbitrary authority, final strike. This destroys the "I followed all the rules" illusion. Michael Stevens, a software engineer from Oregon, researched extensively and followed every rule perfectly for 6 days. On his final morning, Michael asked the front desk about late checkout. The staff member was having a personal crisis, relationship issues, family problems, and snapped at Michael for demanding special treatment. That staff member filed a complaint for aggressive behavior towards staff. Michael had spoken calmly and politely, but the complaint stood. When Michael requested to speak with a manager about the unfair accusation, that became escalating hostile behavior, strike 2. His attempt to provide witness statements from other guests became harassment of guests, strike 3. The system's memory is longer and more arbitrary than human memory. Staff personal moods, biases, and bad days become your permanent record. Michael was evicted 4 hours before his scheduled departure. He lost his airport shuttle, paid $200 for a taxi, and missed his connecting flight. Additional costs: $800. The psychological impact. Understanding that perfect compliance offers zero protection against arbitrary authority. The biggest myth travelers believe is that resort policies are designed for fairness. They're designed for control. Every policy gives staff discretionary power to remove guests without compensation, appeals, or recourse. You're not paying for a guaranteed experience. You're paying for the privilege to follow arbitrarily enforced rules. Resort evictions happen to ordinary people following reasonable behaviors. The system is designed to favor the resort in every dispute. Your protection comes not from compliance, but from understanding that you're always one staff member's bad day away from eviction. Safety through awareness means recognizing that vacation contracts favor resorts, not guests. Document everything, stay below radar, and understand that paradise comes with invisible landmines. Your dream vacation exists at the discretion of people who don't know you and don't care about your experience. They care about avoiding corporate liability. This was just the guest eviction system. Next time, we'll explore how resorts legally keep your money even after destroying your vacation. The financial traps built into cancellation policies, force majeure clauses, and dispute resolution systems that guarantee you'll never see a refund. The hidden machinery of vacation paradise runs on your ignorance. Now you know how the gears turn.